Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are going to be continuing the Let's Play for Reverse 1999. So then, last time we finished off the main event portion for Notes on Shuori, and now we are left with only the two character stories for Jiu and Getian, and I'm looking forward to seeing what these two are going to be about, because definitely seemed like interesting characters, and I hope these two stories are going to do quite a lot to expand on the characters and do quite a lot of characterization, because Jian did get her spotlight, especially towards the end of the story, with character development and everything. Getian, on the other hand, feels a bit still like left in the air, and I kind of hoping that his story will be shining a bit of a better light on him. But that will be for next episode. Today's episode will be obviously on Jiu herself. And also coming back to the main portion of the story very quickly, last time I asked you guys if you can, now that we are done with the main portion of the event, if you can give me kind of like bullet points, notes, and elaborations about why the story was so very weirdly received in both EN and CN when it was released back when, and you guys came in spades. There were so many comments that were so like long and elaborate about what was both people's opinions, personal opinions, speculations on why this was so weirdly received and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do, instead of selecting one comment, I'm gonna do just a quick like from the top of my head from what I read, like ad-libbed version of what I saw from you guys. But I would highly encourage everybody else who is curious, just go back into the previous episode in the playlist and just read through all of the long comments. You will see quite a lot of interesting things. A lot of it is overlapping with each other, but do give all of those comments a quick read through and see what they all say, because all of it was very interesting. Plus, a lot of the comments also answered another question that I was posing, and that was about Bessmert and what your guys' like theories and opinions were, and what other people were like theorizing on her, essentially, when the story was released originally. And thank you for all of those as well, because those were another very interesting read through, and quite a lot of stuff that I read seems to be pretty much in line with what I was saying as well, so kind of makes me happy. But yeah, coming back to the main question that I had about why was this so weirdly received, and a lot of the comments were pretty much overlapping, like I said, about the whole thing, mostly being around the fact that, number one, the story was a bit slow-paced. At least the first half of it was pretty slow, so until it gets going, you need to, you know, sit through a lot of slow pacing in writing and development, so that's understandable. But at the same time, I'm not someone who gets bothered by it, because I'm very well aware that even a slow story at the start will pay off later in the end when stuff starts happening in it. So I'm fine with that, but I understand the sentiment. People want the dopamine hits a lot of times, especially when they're coming from, especially for people who are like mostly focusing on main story, and then they expect every single side story to be kinda in the same way connected, which brings me to the other thing that I saw you guys bring up, and that is the fact that this story is very much its own thing. And that sentiment I do understand, because this story is definitely very much its own entity, with almost no connection to the main story or characters outside of the very end where Vertin and Sonetto appear. Outside of that, this whole thing, it's pretty much its own thing, and like you guys also said, there is no clue as to when the story inside of the city is taking place. The other portions of the story are kind of deducible, but the story in the city is kind of like, and at the time period, are left in the air. So that one is wild. But who knows? Maybe there's gonna be an answer to that one day, when we get another story for it or connected story to it. Who knows? But yeah, that's one thing. The other thing being a lot of the story is based around the trope of miscommunication and not elaborating enough. And that part I do agree with, because I think even in the previous episode I was kind of commenting on especially on Getian, who wasn't used to being around people, doesn't realize, of course, because of it, that if he doesn't elaborate enough, people will not understand what he means with his actions. Like, he believes that his actions are enough to showcase his intentions, but that's not how society and people work, right? So I do understand that sentiment as well, and probably my only kind of like gripe with the whole thing, the misunderstanding concept of the story. The other thing that I also saw brought up is that Jiu was not realizing that she was the one turning all of those people into horses. From my understanding of the story, she was realizing that she was turning, obviously, some people into the Lushu, essentially, but she wasn't realizing that she was turning so many people into it until the revelation of her wooden dolls that were soaking themselves into the enchanted liquor, essentially, that they were also washing themselves and soaking in the river. So the river carrying off the enchantment, and then somewhere downstream hitting people and transforming them into horses, and then Getian picks the horses up and brings them to the city. I think that would be a valid point of why she doesn't realize that most of those are transformed humans, essentially, because they weren't hit by like the main portion of the spell, like the strong portion of it, and it wasn't done by herself. But still, it was a bit of a weird concept of she doesn't know. How does she not know? Whatever, doesn't matter. But yeah, I understand that, and probably the other thing that I also saw you guys brought up was that people didn't like especially the Chinese people didn't like the whole concept of this is the first Chinese-centric story, which is fine, but it also, again, being so dejected from the main story and being its own thing, plus the main character, which was also the first limited character, which also was kind of like the representative figure for China, essentially, being a bit low on the IQ ladder. Yeah, I kind of get the concept, but at the same time, again, I enjoyed this character very much so, and I love that she had like her redemption arc. Like, she wasn't evil for the sake of being evil or doing the nefarious stuff like the turning people into the Lushu, essentially. She wasn't doing it because she was trying to, I don't know, punish people for something or whatever. In her mind, she thought she was helping people by turning them into this sacred beast, essentially, because all she knows is that these things were the be and end all. In her mind, that was kind of like the salvation until she was proven otherwise. But yeah, I do understand it. But also, from what I saw, bringing all of the comments together, a lot of people just seem to not have read properly the story or understood the story or thought about what they read and what they heard in the story. So, you know, there's a lot of misconception, and again, it's one of those things, it's a side story, so yeah, most people don't pay attention in gacha games to side stories, which is a shame. But yeah, it's kind of like the same thing as in Arcanists as well. Arcanists has a ton of side stories, and my god, if people in the community for Reavers, the portion of the community that doesn't care about side stories, doesn't care about them because they are like mostly their own thing, even if they have main story characters in them, they would be livid with Arcanists. They would not pay attention to over 90% of the side stories in Arcanists, because in Arcanists, most side stories, yes, they do feature characters that are, you know, either current operator or about to be operators for Rhode Island, or they will, after the story at some point, be operators. But very rare does a side story actually feature main story relevant characters. Everybody in the side story categories is pretty much someone who will or is working for Rhode Island, the company and titular place that you are part of, essentially, for the main portion of the game, and they are their own thing. they are building the world and everything else, and the relationship between the countries, essentially, but at the same time, they are their own thing that, yes, does in some cases fuse into main story. But yeah, these same people would be absolutely livid if they would have to go through side stories in Arcanists. If that's their main beef, if that's their main like beef with a story that it needs to be somehow very rigidly connected to the main plot. But yeah, anyway. Like I said, there was a lot of interesting comments. I would suggest to everybody go back to the previous episode and read through all of that, because what I just went over was literally a couple of my thoughts plus like just bullet points of what I read. But yeah, thank you all very much for all of those interesting comments. I enjoyed reading pretty much all of them, without exception. But yeah, anyway, let us begin with our part 4 Jiu, shall we? Lights to the tavern. Oh, this is gonna be a warm-up for me for this week. Arcanists is getting a new side story this week, and this is gonna be a voiceover warm-up, even though I'm technically doing that with oh, we're starting here. Technically doing that with one of my Let's Plays. Oh, this is auto-scrolling. Nice! Mm-hmm. Are we done? Nope. Okay, we're starting from when this person left her to her own resources, huh? Let's see. Oh yeah, that's what this person said. As Xiangrui is not supposed to have any personal feelings. She fell because of you, because of the personal feeling. Remember that. Stay in the city, be their guardian, be a Xiangrui. Be a Xiangrui, and then you will understand her. Good God. I'm still pissed at this person, whoever this person was who left her to her own devices while she was a child and didn't understand what the shit was happening. That is a sentence you can throw at an adult, not at a child. Anyway. Earthen ramparts and stone walls rise up on the horizon. The towering city gates loom ahead. Travelers come and go, pausing only briefly within the gate's shadow to undergo inspection before being granted entry into the city. Oh yeah, also coming back, this entire sentence here that was said by this person to Jiu when he was young, pretty much just is the epitome of miscommunication. to come back to the whole thing of not properly communicating. Hey, you know what? That could be maybe the thing that the writer wanted to impart on people. Communicate, right? Properly say stuff, communicate properly, tell everything, don't keep mum. Anyway. A bullock cart, sandwiched within the procession, slowly advances. It is halted in its tracks. Hey, stop there. What's in the cart? Just some dried mushrooms I bought to sell, sir. Despite this claim, the thatched mat covering the cart is bulging unnaturally, as though something is hidden underneath. The guard prods it with the scabbard of his sword. A small figure springs out from beneath it, startling everyone in the vicinity. I'm guessing young Jiu. She's chewing on a piece of dried mushroom, mumbling under her breath.
To Pei City.
Oh my God. Absolutely adorable. Who are you? Why are you in my cart? Hey, you're eating my mushrooms! Mommy isn't here. The Taoist asked me to go to the city. Pei City. I'm hungry. Perhaps she got separated from her family. What's your name? Where did you come from? The guard extends his hand to help her down from the cart. She rejects the offer, instead grabbing another handful of mushrooms and stuffing them into her mouth. Then, with a deft leap, she lands on the back of the ox, pulling the cart. Okay, yeah, she hasn't been taught properly. If she really grew up that isolated, then yeah, she doesn't understand commerce and how goods are handled. Hey, kid! Get down now! The girl moves nimbly, like a little bouncing bean striding with ease as she darts between the carts and horses. In a blink of an eye, she vanishes without a trace. Bean? Verse 37. Oh, that's the introduction to the cutscene over already. Cool. Oh, that's absolutely adorable. Tap here to watch the exclusive story. Yeah, I know. Thank you, game. To explore the events behind the scenes. Okay, survey. Battles. Yeah, during the event you can participate in a total of 4 surveys. After completing, you can also make deductions on the current events. Huh. Okay. Observation, is it just a battle? When conducting an observation, the Foundation provides companions to assist the Timekeeper in battle. That is a selection. Oh yeah, right. Didn't one of you say that this is where they started changing how these are working? Like the layout of the battles being like separated from this section here or something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna do this first, then I'm gonna check this and see if there's anything interesting in it. First off, the 3rd and the 9th. Why did my main menu pop up for a second? Oh, I randomly heard one of her voice lines, Jiu's voice lines that is, and in that voice line she actually, in English, is saying that her name can be translated to 9th, which is something that we brought up in the comment sections in the previous episodes. Anyhow, the main street of Pei City bustles with activity. Crowds throng the thoroughfare, the cries of vendors ring out, silks drape high over the streets, and piles of red pomegranates and walnuts rise in little towers on the market stalls. A vendor pulls some freshly baked sesame buns out of the earthen oven behind him and lays them in a steaming stack on the small counter. They exude an aromatic fragrance. The little girl is huddled in front of the stall, her head barely peeking above the tabletop, her eyes unblinking, transfixed by the sesame buns. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the stupid little meme of that gacha communities use with like the couple of like premium currency on her hand, just peeking over the counter. One of these, please. Oh God. Anyway. Give me. The little girl points into her open mouth with her finger.
Feeling hungry.
Aww. No money, no food. I'm running a business here. I'll go away. Shoot! The little one, not understanding a word, casually snatches up a bun and devours it. Oh, does she not understand what they're saying as well? In recent days, the entire merchant hub has come to know of this little beggar, whose origins remain unknown, as she wanders the streets all day and night. Hey, beggar kid, give that back! You've been stealing buns from me for days! Although the little one does not understand the purpose of these words, she can still sense the building rage behind them. She turns tail and flees, but before she can take more than a step, she collides head-on with 2 figures.
Where are you going?
Fatao. The larger one catches her wrist. I've heard endless complaints about your stealing. You're not getting away. Not this time. I'll get you locked away in prison. Then you'll never steal again. I wouldn't have expected the Fatao to deal with little girls. I assume she committed a felony. What you don't know, sir, is that this little beggar has been wandering the streets for days. No one knows where she came from. When she's thirsty, she drinks from the horse throgs. And when she's hungry, she steals food from the vendors. She's quick as a stallion too. No one could catch her when she entered the city. The patroller informed me a few days ago. She's quick as a stallion, you say? Oh, you did your own foreshadowing, how nice. The little girl struggles, attempting to break free from the large hand that grips her. Li Zhang leans down to scrutinize the young offender.
Huh? What's your name? Have you ever been to school? No? Can you talk?
I need to stay in the city. The city needs a Xiangre.
She can talk. Perhaps she's from a decent family, and something happened to them. Isn't it too harsh to put a little girl who has suffered so much into prison? Let's not make a fuss of it.
This guy's just a good grandpa. Also, okay, so she can talk, she can understand, but she doesn't get the meaning behind words. Well, some words.
Actually, I was thinking that prison would provide her with food and shelter. In the meantime, I could work on locating her parents.
That is admirable.
My apologies. I suppose you are considerate under that harsh exterior of yours.
Li Zhang straightens up and strokes his beard. He appears to have already devised a plan for the beggar child's fate. This guy really is just a grandpa. Oh, are we actually gonna see the previous tavern owner? Because she was already gone and transformed into a Lu Shu in the main portion. After making their way down several streets, the three of them arrive at a tavern. It is filled with patrons. Amidst the clinking of cups and the raising of toasts, idle chatter and laughter abound, creating a scene of merriment. As they enter, the scent of liquor hits their nostrils. A graceful figure moves swiftly among the clientele, her presence as striking as it is efficient. Oh, she actually gets a model! Nice! Very pretty and very traditional. With everything. Makeup and adornment.
Welcome, Li Zhang. Fatal, what brings you here? Take a seat. You came just at the right time. I have some jars of melon brew that I haven't opened yet. I'm thinking that a couple of distinguished guests can do me a favor and have the first cup.
Miss Shu, you slippery little thing. What? That's a sentence. If Li Zhang hadn't come today, then would you have told us about these new arrivals? Poor us not even qualified to smell it. Miss Shu feigns annoyance, playfully scolding her patrons with a smile. They burst into laughter. As this moment passes, one patron stands to invite the two officials to take a seat.
No need.
We're not here to drink.
You're not? Oh. Well, everything's above board here. I've never even watered down a drink. Just ask my guests, they'll tell you.
Don't worry, Miss Shu. We're just here to check up on the stores. Huh? Is everything going well with your tavern?
Yes, everything's fine. Some drinkers can get really talky, but that's all. No troublemakers, thanks to your management. You know, most days I have plenty of time to make the rice buns that I sell to the locals. But on liquor permit days, there are so many patrons in the tavern, and I have to serve all of them myself.
What a coincidence.
I have just found you a helper.
But Cao steps aside. He is about to introduce the child to Miss Shu, when he turns around to find that the little beggar has disappeared without a trace.
She was here just now. Where did she go?
After a thorough search, they find her curled up behind the counter. She refuses to answer any of their questions.
Li Zhang, don't tell me this is the new helper you were talking about.
Oh, right. Exactly.
There's no way I can take her. She looks more like a wild beast than a child, and she can't even speak fluently. She seems totally uncivilized. How could a girl like this help me? Honestly, if she stays here, I'll have to spend just as much time taking care of her as I do the tavern. Li Zhang, you better not throw this hot potato to me.
You're right. She needs to be civilized. That's why I brought her here. Everyone in the city knows you're sharp as a tack. Why, you could teach a monkey to talk if you had to.
Damn.
Besides, you're a kind person. No one is more suited to take care of a little girl than you.
We have no clue where we might find her parents. We can't just let her wander the streets.
What about the charity hall? I'm running a tavern here, not a school. Besides, she hasn't spoken a word since she got here. Is she some sort of dumb?
Oh lady, you don't know it yet. Oh lady. Upon hearing the word dumb, the beggar girl stands up and dusts off her sleeves. She looks around the room, finally resting her gaze upon Miss Shu. Is this triggering her? Oh, that's gonna be funny.
I'm not dumb. My mommy called me Joe.
Child, you're adorable.
Jew? Does that mean you're the 9th in your family? Well, it's easy to remember.
See, I wish that one time in the main portion of the story they would have had like a footnote to explain the joke that was happening in that one scene. That would have helped a lot, because they're explaining it here, and they are, and Jew herself is explaining it in her voice line. They kind of missed the mark there.
See? She didn't say a word to us the whole way here, but she's already talking to you.
3 and 9.
3 and 9? Swin? Nadia? Anyway.
What kind of fate could this be, if not a twisted one?
Somehow, the pure gaze and innocent, carefree demeanor of this little beggar makes her difficult to shoo away. Eventually, Miss Shu's tone softens.
Jiu, huh? You've been begging for days, yet you still had the energy to run and hide in the tavern. You must be healthy.
She's quite a runner. Many adults couldn't keep up with her. Maybe she can help you run errands.
But you see, the extra food and clothing... I can barely earn enough money to feed myself.
Li Zheng wastes no time in instructing Fasao to produce the settlement fee and hand it over to Miss Shu. The patrons gather, eager to see the amount, but Miss Shu waves them off with a flick of her wrist. They laugh among themselves and return to downing their drinks.
This could be enough for now, but kids grow so fast, you know? I'll have to get her new clothes, new shoes every now and then.
I've heard many rumors of Shu's silvery tongue. You surely don't disappoint.
Never mind.
Alright, you've just won yourself the position of supplier of the Zichi. You'll be responsible for the ceremonial liquors during festivals.
Thank you so much, Li Zheng. I'll make the best liquor for the ceremonies. And of course, I'll take good care of her.
Well, she's a negotiator. With matters concluded, Li Zheng and Fasao do not linger any longer. There are still many tasks awaiting them in the city, and so they take their leave. The tavern quickly regains its earlier liveliness. On this precious liquor permit day, not a single moment must be wasted. Miss Shu is still adjusting to the sudden arrival of her unexpected helper.
Okay. Follow me.
Follow me. You'll be staying in the tavern from now on. Starting tomorrow, you'll help me run the business. If you need anything, just tell me. Oh, and don't steal from others again. Water. I'm thirsty. Water's in the yard. I'll get it for you.
Alright. Two officials walk down the street, their pace leisurely as they converse about the events of the day. Li Zheng, why did you do all that to help that beggar girl?
When I first looked at that girl, I had the feeling that I'd seen her before. Besides, it would be a pity to have such a bright young thing roaming the streets.
that he's seen her before. Maybe he saw her mother before? Fatal nods, habitually pressing down on the short sword at his waist and casting a final glance back at the tavern before turning into a side street. I see.
You'll sleep here tonight. It used to be a utility room, but I've cleaned it, and the bed's new. I heard that you slept on the street, so I guess you're not afraid of the dark. I sleep in the room next to yours. Call me if you need anything. Yes, sleep when you're sleepy.
Dew rests her hands by her ear, tilts her head, and feigns the sound of slumber. The child's innocent and carefree spirit softens Miss Shu's heart, prompting her to leave a few tender instructions before departing.
I'm alone now. Don't sleep on the street anymore.
Oh. I was like, wait, what does she mean? Isn't she with her? No. She means in general she's without family now. And to not sleep on the street anymore. Yielding to the moment, the child lies on the floor of the room. Tonight there are no twinkling stars to accompany her, no cool breeze to caress her, only the faintly discernible beams overhead. With a rustling sound, a troop of wooden dolls materialize out of thin air. They frolic and cavort on the bed, the ground, and on Dew's clothes.
New place! Fun! Liquor jars! Customers raising their cups!
The wooden dolls turn their day's sights into lyrical verses in an endless song. One doll pushes through the others, leaping down from the bed to whisper into Dew's ear.
Personal feelings, you're having a lot.
Oh, this voice is gonna kill me.
Oh boy, I have to be very high for this one. Yippee!
Sorry.
They're not personal feelings. You don't know anything. Don't forget what the Dowie said. You're annoying. I'm sleeping now. I need to run a business tomorrow. Do you even know what business means? No. Me neither.
She might be dumb, but she's kind of like that good type of dumb. The type you can vibe with. It's kind of funny.
Maybe it means I'll figure it out tomorrow.
Boy oh boy. Alright then. What does Shangryu's do? Yeah, the main menu flashes in the background for a brief moment. I think that's used like a layer in the far background. Okay. As the sun begins to rise, so too does the sound of clanging and clattering. A cacophony of pots and pans crescendos, accompanied by the clinking of liquor jars being shuffled about. Suddenly, the door is thrust open.
Hey,
Rise and shine, girl. It's the liquor permit day. Guests are coming. It's going to be a long day. If only they would go to work as early as they come to the tavern. Why are you sleeping on the floor? Did you fall down in your sleep? Get up, come on, don't get cold.
I don't wanna wake up.
Aww.
Sleep is good. What a lazy girl. No work, no food. You're not going to steal from me like you did from those vendors on the street. I'll get you to work.
Miss Shu swiftly lifts the sluggard from the ground, dusts off the dirt from her body, wipes her face, and pushes her out the door. It seems that for the first time in years, Dew is not allowed to wake up on her own accord.
In the tavern, our business is to sell people liquor and earn money. To work here, you'll need to be able to recognize all the liquors. Whatever the customer orders, we serve them. Every patron, rich or poor, has their own preferences. It is only through matching those preferences that you make money in this business. A wealthy man won't always want the most expensive wine, and a poor man won't always want the cheapest. Your first task is to memorize all the names of the different liquors. I don't want to do business. Too sleepy. And I don't want to remember anything. The street is better. I just take whatever I want. Taking things without permission is called stealing. That's what thieves do. Listen, here in my tavern, you need to work to get food. Otherwise, I'll only give you water.
Sweetie, every living person needs a certain job to make a living.
Damn, they actually hired up full-on voice actors for this woman.
Yes, you'll be tired, exhausted even, but through work, you can earn the food you need.
小九.
Do you understand, Ju?
Hmm.
I guess. Work for food or go hungry.
That works. This straightforward explanation leaves no room for debate. Miss Shu feels satisfied that she has corrected the girl's beggar-like behavior by a fraction or two. Miss Shu then leads Ju to the front hall of the tavern. As the sun rises higher, the streets become busier. Several early patrons have already arrived at the tavern and are now peering in from the entrance. Miss Shu quickly ushers them to their seats and ladles out their liquor, serving them according to their respective preferences. Once they settle in, Miss Shu takes Ju aside for more detailed instruction. Different liquors taste different and have different costs. There are 3 aspects through which you can tell liquors apart: transparency, scent, and taste. A good liquor should be transparent, have a mellow aroma, and have a long-lasting aftertaste.
Nah.
That's what the customers are after.
Accompanied by Ju, Miss Shu saunters past the liquor cabinet, where rows of liquor jars stand like a troop of portly warriors, awaiting the general's inspection. The vermilion paper jackets on the jars present their whimsical nicknames, each more amusing than the last, while wafts of fragrant spirits drift from their rims. However, Ju does not recognize the characters. Instead, she memorizes the brush strokes as if they were the components of a painting.
They smell better than flowers, and each one has a different scent.
Of course.
Of course they do. Every liquor has its own unique fragrance.
Come here.
Now look at these jars. This is Fushui, the one next to it is Earth Spring, the one above it is West Fair, and here is the bestseller, Great Mr.
Great Mister, really? That's all it's called? I was expecting more.
This is the Sanle liquor. My ancestors learned the recipe from Persian merchants. It's made of multiple fruits and helps work up your appetite and digest food.
Oh god, this is... You know, the time setting for this might not have like a rigid year associated with it, but just hearing the word Persian, oh, that puts it in at least some form of timeline, I would say. Damn, this is very far back.
小九.
Do you remember all that? Repeat what I just said.
Oh god. Ju counts on her fingers, carefully recalling each detail.
30... 30 things. Vest hair. Crazy sir. Sunny liquor. Helps work out.
Ju's words draw laughter from the patrons, who have been keenly listening to this recent round of instruction. What an interesting errand girl. I think her names are even better than yours.
Mr. Shen, don't make fun of her. What was that? She didn't recount a single word correctly. That I would surrender to Li Zheng so easily. In so few words, he convinced me to commit this act of charity. And he said I was the one with the silver tongue.
Who knew that kind Miss Shu could get so frustrated? You sound like a stubborn old teacher.
Not sure about the stubborn and old part, but yes, I'll have to become at least a half teacher.
No?
This is the little girl Li Zheng brought here. Her name's Ju. Though she lacks social skills, she seems pretty smart. The Taoist said smart is good.
Lady Shu.
You're being too harsh on her, Miss Shu. It's not Jiu's fault. The names are hard to remember. You should teach her little by little, like how we start drinking liquor from a small cup, then move on to a bowl. Let her start with serving the liquor. Come, Jiu, give me a bowl of herb spring.
It's her first day. She won't know which is which. I'll get it.
Before she can move, Jiu dashes to the liquor cabinet. She peers left and right, fiercely sniffing the air, determined to pinpoint which jar contains herb spring. Miss Shu jumps on this opportunity, signaling with her eyes for Jiu to fetch the third jar on the first row.
See? She did it! Told you she could handle it. Maybe she'll even replace you in a couple of years.
Oh, they're having fun with the foreshadowing here.
I couldn't ask for more. She'll do all the work, and I'll just sit back and enjoy my life. Not to mention that I won't have to deal with the mess you leave behind anymore.
Upon opening the jar of herb spring, a unique fragrance bursts forth. The Paling River winds around Pei City, and it is from the river's upper reaches that Miss Shu draws her water, for only this crisp and clear liquor can brew such a uniquely fragrant liquor. Wait, what? For only this crisp and clean... Oh, liquid, not liquor. Sorry. Old drinker is imagining the liquor from the jar filling his porcelain bowl in a steady stream. But the young girl before him plunges her hands into the jar, scoops up a handful of crisp, exquisite liquor, and presents it to him cupped in her hands. Oh no, child. Drink, sir.
Please.
Drink, please. Before she can finish speaking, the herb spring liquor has already slipped through her fingers, drenching the patron's label. Oh no.
The tavern's patrons are at first taken aback, then they burst into healthy laughter. These guests love liquor. They cherish it dearly. But what they love even more is the atmosphere that comes with drinking it. For these patrons, when they are enjoying liquor, all things are filled with joy.
Sorry about this one-of-a-kind palm drink. It's her first day here. Please give her some patience. Have 2 more bowls of West Fair on the house. I would give you the herb spring, but she put her hands into it, so I'm afraid the flavor has been altered.
Despite these apologies, Miss Shu does not blame the girl. Instead, she examines her small hands over and over, fearing the strong liquor might have burned her skin. She then fetches a cloth to clean up the spilled liquor on the table. Old drinker is not annoyed in the slightest. Having gained 2 large bowls of West Fare for free, he is naturally delighted and moves to another table to continue drinking.
How strange.
Weird. He didn't get angry. He just kept drinking. What does liquor taste like? It tastes, complicated. It can bring people joy, but also great sorrow. I'll leave it to you to find out, but only after you grow up.
Hearing this, Jiu immediately dips her finger into the bottle of liquor on the table, intending to taste it. Fortunately, Miss Shu intercepts her.
Hey,
Hey, wait. I just said after you grow up. Don't be so hasty, little girl, little lady. And don't use your hands. I know that's how you used to drink from the throgs, but here it's very rude. From now on, no matter if it's water, tea, or liquor, use a bowl. It's called manners. Tomorrow I'll buy a bowl with your name on it, so you won't confuse yours with the others. And ask questions when you don't know what to do. Don't just act on impulse like you did today. Understood?
As she speaks, Miss Shu tilts the liquor jar in her hand. With a gentle gurgling sound, the liquor streams like a string of glazed beads, spilling onto a jade plate and fills the clay bowl of the patron in front of her.
Thank you.
She watches intently, her eyes unblinking and nostrils flared. The ethereal aroma of the liquor wafts through the air, compelling her to reach out and scoop up a handful. Then, like a beast quenching its thirst, she tilts her head back and pours it into her mouth. Not a soul around her is quick enough to intervene. In an instant, an indescribable taste spreads across her tongue, unlike anything the child has ever tasted before. Uh-oh.
It's burning! It's burning my tongue so hot!
Yeah, alcohol is... I mean, first off, social terms of you need to be an adult to drink alcohol. That's one thing. The other thing is, a child's tongue cannot really deal with tastes because, you know, you're still in development with certain tastes. Oh god. Which is why, when we all grow older, we acquire different tastes than when we had as children, because our tongues develop.
Not sweet, not bitter. Something's going into my nose.
Her throat instantly begins to burn, and tears and snot threaten to run from her eyes and nose. She scrunches up her face, fanning her mouth with her hand, and smacks her tongue again against the roof of her mouth. Aww.
This is disgusting. It burns. Why do people like this?
Hey,
Oh my. Don't do that again, you. And you're too young to understand why. Besides, no one can drink this kind of thing every day.
Well, certain alcoholics would would argue with you there, but anyway. At this moment, a patroller enters the tavern, carrying a bundle of cloth in his hand. He stands firm in the center of the hall, surveys the room, and heads straight for Miss Shu. Miss Shu, here are some old clothes from the Zhang's family. All are gently used. He said to give it to the beggar.
She's not a beggar anymore. Her name is Jiu. Please send my thanks to Li Zhang. And thank you too, sir. You've come all the way here. Why not take a rest and have a drink? Tomorrow is the start of the liquor ban, so you'll have to wait half a month before we can serve you again.
But I'm still on duty. Oh, but could you fill my water back for later? I'll drink with my friends after duty hours. As Miss Shu opens the jar and pours the liquor, the patrons around her begin to whisper among themselves. Liquor ban, permit. Look how we suffer from them. All because of that damn regulation. No group drinking except holidays. If only they had just banned group drinking. But they've stopped all drinking altogether. We became friends by drinking together in this tavern. But because of the ban, we have less than 2 weeks a month when we can even drink.
Funny you say that, Mr. Shen. I've seen you drinking a lot no more on ban days or permit days.
Shh, watch your mouth.
The two patrons steal a glance at the patroller nearby, their voices fading into a whisper. Good God. The daylight hours fly by swiftly. Come nightfall, Jiu lies on her bed, soreness in her body and weariness in her legs. She has run back and forth through the front hall all day. Oh god, that throws me back to my first job now, that sentence. Oh, with leg pain. Whoever went through the same thing, if you are not used to standing or walking an entire shift, like 8-hour to 9-hour shift, and then after like the first week or two you come home, every time you come home for that first like month of work, good god, that was pain. Holy shit. Like, if I would walk, it would be fine, but it was a pain of, if you sat down, you are not getting up. That was the worst part. I clearly remember a couple of times going to the cinema and sitting for like 3 hours in a nice comfy chair and then trying to stand up and my legs would just not work. That was a painful month. Anyway. In the darkness, the wooden dolls emerge once more, hopping onto the bed, one after another, and dancing beside her.
Lying down! Working is exhausting. Working is hard. How was the business? Business is tiring, but there are interesting things. Dirty things, vest hair.
She's still calling it that.
Dirty things, vest hair, crazy sir. These are very spicy liquors, you know. Don't know at all. Where is Xiangray? Xiangray, don't forget! Stop rushing me. I'll look for it. The people here know so many things, especially Miss Shu.
But Xiangray?
But
What
Xiangray...
exactly is a Xiangray?
What exactly, yeah? This is a question you're gonna be pursuing for a long while, girl. A long, long while. Alright, next one. Idle time. So far this is very interesting, seeing her... seeing essentially the part of the story that wasn't covered in the main story. Her growing up with the previous tavern keeper. Oh, we're already at adult stage. We jumped.
Oh, no customers today? Afraid not. We're on liquor ban after all. Who decided what to do on different days anyway? Isn't today just a normal day like any other?
Much time passes. Jiu has grown considerably taller, no longer bearing the feral appearance she once had. The patrons have bestowed upon her the nickname Jiu Nyangji, regarding her as a young maiden charged with selling and serving liquor, and indeed as Miss Shu's successor. It didn't take long for her to shed her childhood demeanor. These days she's immersed in the atmosphere of the tavern. She converses back and forth with the patrons with ease. Jiu Nyangji half-heartedly wipes the dust of the liquor jars, having counted the bows behind the counter numerous times. She wanders the hall, idle and bored, and begins to read the regulations on liquor sale and consumption, placard posted on one of the pillars. Oh, this is gonna paint me as an old fart, but I don't care. This is like before smartphones, when you sat down on a toilet and you had nothing to do, and you either brought a magazine with you, or you forgot and you were reading the backside of like detergent and shit. Oh god, I'm so old.
I can't read it, save for a few characters. The customers talk about it all the time. So often that I can even recite it now. This regulation aims to prioritize the use of grain for food over liquor. Miss Shu reads it during the liquor ban too, as it could make the permit days come sooner.
The regulations are filled with verbose and tedious phrases, but it is only at the end that it clearly states: citizens are permitted to drink during holidays and on the first and 15th days of the month. Drinking is prohibited on all other days, including group drinking, private drinking, and the sale of liquor in taverns.
If not liquor, what else would be sold in a tavern? Whoever made this decision clearly doesn't understand what people want. Or do they? There are lots of rules here that don't let people do what they want. Is it on purpose? Li Zheng manages the merchant hub. Is he a guardian? Is he a Zhang Rei?
Definitely not. A knock echoes at the door. In accordance with the regulations, the tavern can only open the door halfway on liquor ban days. A patron slips into the front hall, flipping a few copper coins in hand and greeting like an old friend.
Lady Shu.
Miss Shu, I'll have 3 rice buns. The freshly made ones. Truly, no one makes better rice buns than you. Can't you save me some next time? Every time I'm a little bit late, they're sold out. On the table lies a large basket, brimming with small golden crispy buns with sesame seeds sprinkled on top. Here they are known simply as rice buns. Miss Shu moves as fast as serving liquor, picks up 3 rice buns, and hands them over to the patron.
I'm glad you like them. As you know, we can't do liquor business during the ban. Luckily, the rice we use to make liquor can be made into buns. We wouldn't be able to make a living if we didn't make these, and of course, if we didn't have your and the neighborhood support.
Hey, isn't this Jiu Yangji? I thought you just slept in the back during the liquor ban.
Sleep? No work, no food. It's as simple as that. So I need to work too. Sweep the floor, wipe the jars. All the cleaning, really.
Look at you, giving me a full speech. I remember when you first got here. You could barely say a full sentence. What a blessing it is that Miss Shu took you in. She's fed and taught you all this time. Make sure you thank her properly when you've grown up, eh?
Blessing. Blessing.
Miss Shu takes out a small cup and fills it with tea from the teapot on the counter, inviting the visitor to drink it. Thank you. I always get thirsty on my trip over here. My, what nice tea this is. A sip of clear tea like this is sure to melt the worries away. You really know how to run a business, Miss Shu.
You flatter me. I'm just putting myself in the customer's shoes. It's the only way to run a long-lasting business. With the liquor ban ongoing, I'm counting on rice buns and tea to make a living.
Throughout the morning, a steady stream of customers comes to buy her buns, until only 7 or 8 remain in the basket. Those who come too late truly will miss out. After purchasing their buns, the patrons always make a point to drink a cup of tea in the tavern, draining it in one gulp. Only then do they leave contented.
Miss Shu, the buns are selling quickly. Every time I go to the street, people ask me if there are any left. Why don't we just sell buns instead of liquor? Then we wouldn't need to run around and serve the patrons. We just sit here and pass the buns to the customers.
What are you talking about? We're running a tavern, not a bakery.
People buy our buns because they're made in a tavern. If it didn't make liquor, we wouldn't have the ingredients to make them. But aren't they made of rice?
The rice buns in the basket continue to emit their fragrance, a scent both familiar and foreign to Jiu Nianji. She has never seen how these buns are made. She retires early each night, only to awaken to the enticing aroma the next morning. By then, Miss Shu has already prepared a basket full of rice buns and is setting them up on the table.
Yes, but not entirely. They're made with the rice from the tavern. We use grain to make liquor, including rice, wheat, millet, and many others. You see, I always go to the grain store myself to get the best ingredients. After liquor is made, the lees left are called Jiuniang. Jiuniang, similar to your name. Rice buns are made of jiuniang and buckwheat flour. Oh, I didn't know that. No wonder it smells better than the other buns. But it comes at a cost. Making buns is more tiring than making liquor.
Yeah. It's a lot more physical. As she speaks, Miss Shu playfully taps the tip of Jiu Nianji's nose.
The freshly made rice buns taste the best. They lose their fragrance after a day. To make the buns, we need to take the jiuniang out of the liquor jar before 3 in the morning and mix the flour before 5. Net and shape nearly 100 of them. Then heat the earthen oven and put them inside. I wouldn't have to work so hard if there were no liquor bans, let alone the neighborhood is counting on me to make the buns. Neighborhood is counting on you. People need Miss Shu.
Though Miss Shu speaks only of making buns and other mundane tasks, she gives her listeners pause for thought. Listener. Jiu Nianji's heart stirs, and she suddenly recalls the words of the Taoist.
Do you know that?
Miss Shu, do you know what a Zhang Rei is? I heard that it's something good. Where did you hear about that? Oh, from the drinkers, of course. They're just drunk and talking nonsense. Don't take it too seriously. But I have heard about Zhang Rei. They say they're divine beasts, guardians with special powers. Have you seen it before? Can I see it?
Upon hearing that Miss Shu holds some insight on Zhang Rei, Jiu Nianji becomes quite agitated, eagerly moving closer to her. Miss Shu has no choice but to guide Jiu Nianji to first take a seat before she begins speaking to her properly.
All right.
Easy, girl. There's not much I can tell you. The frequenter said that before the bridge was broken, this city had a young Ray as a guardian. It looked like a horse, and it ran faster than the wind, but its story is long lost to time. No one knows if it's real. Do you know what a young Ray does? Or how to become one? Just like in every story, they help people when they need it and disappear soon after they're safe. As for how to become one, they're monsters and meows. I've never heard of a person becoming a young Ray.
Seeing Zhu Niangji sitting there with her ears perked up, she dares not hold back a single word.
You're just like that boy from the silk store. He too could listen to the stories of yaos and monsters all day long. He asks people about the stories in the classic of mountains and seas every single day. Little by little, he learned how to read without ever going to school. If you want to know more about Young Ray, maybe Mr. Liu from the clinic can help. He's knowledgeable. He might be able to teach you how to read. And then you can help me with bookkeeping or writing toasts.
Jinyangji feels a surge of joy within her. If she could read, then she could read books, and, as she has heard many say, books contain absolutely everything. Surely that includes everything about the young Ray too. Without hesitation, she agrees and promptly sets out to find Mr. Liu.
Hey!
Oh, before you go, take this.
Miss Shu pulls out a sheet of jute paper, carefully wraps 12 buns within it, and ties it up. She then takes out some coins and asks Jiu Nyangji to give them to Mr. Liu together with the buns.
This is...
Are the coins for medicine? Are you sick? No, silly, it's not for me. It's for the favor you're about to ask.
Sweetie, when you're asking someone for a favor, you don't come empty-handed. That's what matters in socializing. You still have a lot to learn.
Yep.
So, buns and money equal good etiquette? How strange.
How strange. It is heavy to carry.
Really? 12 buns? 12 buns! As the half moon wanes and the new moon rises, the streets bustle with life. Now on each liquor ban afternoon, Jian Yangji visits the clinic at the end of the street to meet Mr. Liu and learn the art of letters and words. To avoid disturbing the clinic's work, Jian Yangji often brings a small stool to sit on by the doorway.
As warmth fades, the cold follows, the autumn harvest begins. Autumn harvest begins, and
we hoard food for winter. Jinyangji, are you still having trouble reciting 1,000-character classic? I'm confused. You learn everything quickly, except for reading. Every time I teach you how to read something, you forget it right away.
Well, it shows that...
I suppose not everyone is gifted enough to read.
Reading is so much harder than serving liquor. I always get a headache when I start reading something. And these characters look like earthworms.
Sky black, earth golden, vast universe, limitless cosmos. Knowledge and culture were easily lost before... Oh god, how do you say this? Zhangji? Culture were easily lost before Zhangji invented characters. I hope I'm saying that name right. Someone can correct me. Through reading these earthworms, wisdom, discipline, and manners have been passed down for generations. One is not civilized until one is able to read the books of these sages, at that.
That Zhangji sounds like a bad guy.
Yes.
He could have made the characters easier to read if he really wanted people to learn.
You know, I always wondered how the Chinese characters came to be how did that alphabet essentially came to be? Because it's so confusing. I will not lie. I once attempted not for Chinese letters, but for Japanese letters to learn at least a couple and even how to write them. Oh God. Look, if I could travel back in time and find the people who invented this scripture, as pretty as it looks, I would love to slap them across the face. Sorry. Anyway.
Do you know that?
Mr. Liu, do you know what a Xiangray is? Miss Shu said that you're knowledgeable and would be able to answer my questions.
The so-called Xiangray.
Mr. Liu pauses momentarily. Fortunately, his proclivity for reading allows him to address the question with ease, thus preserving his dignity in front of the young lady. Also known as the sign of auspiciousness. When it appears, it's a good omen from heaven, and things will go well.
However,
But it's from but its form is unpredictable. It could be a colorful cloud, two spiked wheat, or a dry spring that somehow flourishes. Under some circumstances, it could even be an exotic beast. The phrase exotic beast strikes Jinyingji like a hammer, prompting her to inquire further.
Oh, do you know how an animal becomes a Xiangray?
it's...
How could I know? The books I read are the philosophical studies of sages and scholars, not monster stories for children.
Then you don't know anything either. I thought you knew everything.
Yeah. By the way, I love the expression of that, like, mouth to the side, like, eh. These words leave Mr. Liu speechless, as all he can do is scratch his head. Suddenly he remembers that there are other ways to chronicle the world's wonders besides words. He strides into the clinic and re-emerges with several dusty, time-worn tomes in hand. As he unfurls their pages, they reveal coarsely printed illustrations of mountain spirits and wild monsters, each annotated in a diminutive square script. Here, these are picture books about the monster stories you like. There's only a little text. You can research the Xiangray legends while learning some characters. 2 birds, 1 stone, and all that. Jinyangji takes the book and cradles it gently in her hands. She turns the pages in awe. Seizing this quiet moment, Mr. Liu takes out 2 rice buns and places a large bowl on the counter. Is this then the scripture that she was carrying in her mouth at the end of the main story that was unfurling as she was jumping over the bridge and turning into a Lushu? I wonder. Because that would definitely make it her most favorite, like, story and stuff like that, and book in quotes.
I want a rice bun too.
I remember that...
So you can drink. I thought Miss Shu said you didn't like the taste of liquor. Even the most experienced drinker can't eat a rice bun without water.
What are you talking about? I don't drink. I just want to know what the rice buns taste like.
I was thinking this, but yeah, the rice buns are essentially alcoholic.
Miss Shu's never let me have one before.
Oh dear, so Miss Shu didn't tell you. I fear I've said too much. But you do live in a tavern and help her do all the work. It's only a matter of time before you find out. Alright, I'll show you. Mr. Liu carefully crumbles a rice bun into the bowl. He then pours hot tea over it, and a familiar aroma wafts into Jinyangji's nostrils. Yep, it dissolves into liquor. That mellow, fermented fragrance mixed with the dry scent of sesame and the smoky aroma of the roasted hearth fills the air.
Huh?
Whoa, the water turns the bun into liquor?
Jinyangji leans over the counter, her delicate face reflected in the bowl. The rice bun has dissolved, leaving only a few grains at the bottom of the bowl. Because of the liquor ban, we can't directly buy liquor, so Miss Shu came up with this rice bun idea. The Junyang used in the buns is specially made, keeping most of the alcohol in it, so that the bun has a strong smell of alcohol. Eating it is like drinking distilled alcohol, only a drunkard could handle that. But watering it down makes it easy to drink. A bottle of this liquor can take all your worries away.
So that's why people come and buy buns during the liquor ban. Miss Shu is so clever. What a creative way to give people drinks.
Drinking a bottle or two and getting lost in our own thoughts. This is one of a few entertainments for us common people. The liquor ban has led to some innovative ways for people to get their liquor. Oh yes.
However,
Luckily, the government is not very strict about it, and thanks to Miss Shu, drinkers like us can have a sip when we want.
I never knew that. Miss Shu is really helping people. I should do that too. As soon as I get back to the tavern, I'll tell her that I'll help her deliver the buns.
This spirited young girl, showing such audacity in her utter indifference to the laws against liquor, earns nothing but admiration from Mr. Liu.
however,
But remember, you didn't hear this from me.
You didn't tell me anything. I figured it out myself.
And she means what she said. And she means what she said. Alright. Very fun so far. A place to belong. Let's see. How long until we reach the point where she turns Miss Shu into a horse? Probably the last 2 nodes. Time slips away, and despite the arrival of another liquor ban today, the tavern seems busier than usual. It is only morning, and the tavern is already bustling with life. The door stands ajar, as per tradition, allowing the scent of sesame to drift outwards as fresh rice buns tumble into baskets, their steam coiling into the air. Also, by the way, there is a dove sound mixed in the background right now with the other birds, and because I hear those pretty much the same sounds next to my window every single morning, I'm thinking to myself right now, wait, is this from the game? Or am I actually hearing them right now? This game is bamboozling me. Unlike previous days, another petite figure waits nearby, wearing light walking shoes and carrying a soft cloth bundle. 41, 42, 43. 50 rice buns in total, fresh out of the oven. Smells good. Worth the hard work. I was up before the sun. Do you think you can make it? You'll have to walk through basically half the city to deliver all the buns.
Don't worry. It's not my first time. I'll run as fast as I can.
Still remember our customers and their orders?
Sure I do. 2 buns for the butcher on West Street, 4 for the tea room on South Alley. The family across the bridge wants 3 and
Jin Yangji retrieves a piece of paper from her sleeve, upon which a map has been haphazardly drawn, marking the locations of the shops she must deliver today.
See, I wrote it down. Since I've learned how to read and write, I can remember them easily.
Look at her grow. Upon closer inspection, the list would give most people a good laugh. Aside from a few familiar characters, the rest is made up of drawings resembling an encrypted espionage missive. Okay, that explains the picture the old man gave her. That is the easiest way she's gonna decipher something. It is highly unlikely that anyone but her would be able to decipher it. Be careful. Stay alert to the patrollers. If you're thirsty, just ask for a cup of tea when you get to the tea room. The owner will give you one.
Yeah, alright.
Before she finishes her sentence, Jin Youngji is dashing out the door, taking huge swift strides as she runs down the street and disappears into the distance. Compared to that little bagger of years past, she looks like a completely different person. Without Jin Youngji's help, it would not be possible to deliver rice buns to people in other districts of the city. Miss Shu shines with gratitude. Aww, that is adorable. That is adorable, and it's gonna be quite potentially heartbreaking seeing her transform Miss Shu into a horse. Good god.
Should I go east or west first? Or should I start with the closer ones? And then the farther ones? So many orders to deliver. So many people to meet.
Amidst her musings, a wooden doll peeks its head out from the sleeve of her garment.
And things about Jangre to ask, don't forget. Alright, Jangre. I need to ask around. Hey, I didn't call you. Why did you come out? Hi, quickly.
After tucking the wooden doll back into her sleeve, Jinyangji spends half the day running through the city and delivers over half of the rice buns. Oh yeah, this was a little thing that was not explained in the main story, at least. At least I don't remember them bringing it up at any point during the story. These little dolls, or rather, why she is hiding the dolls from people. Like, if she's an like, people are very accepting in the city of Arcanists. Wouldn't it be fine to say that she is an Arcanist, at least? Now, guided by her own map, she arrives at the edge of an alley and knocks on a battered wooden door.
Coming, I'm coming. Ah, finally. The font of my inspiration has arrived.
A poet?
I've been waiting all day, Jiunyangji.
Mr. Lee, the buns you ordered are here.
That's good.
Great.
Very good.
I'll get water to mix them together. You know, I did this voice out of randomness for this guy, and somehow I nailed it. What? I know it's a random soundbite for the guy, but whatever. Mr. Lee's hands are stained with ink, and looking in from the doorway, the room appears to be strewn with sheets of white rice paper, the fresh ink still glistening on their surfaces. In a tavern, where the town's drinkers gather, none are unaware of the poetic talents of Mr. Lee, a lover of verse and ink. He often likens himself to the great poets Du Fu and Li Bai.
Mr. Lee, are you still writing poems?
The tavern was too noisy. By the time I got home, my inspirations had all been driven away. Luckily, today is liquor ban day, so I woke up with a clearer mind. I woke up before 7 this morning and started creating right away. But hot liquor will help my ideas flow. Thanks for the buns.
Mr. Lee dissolves a rice bun in tea, and with a single gulp he drinks it down. And what else was there? Within moments, a flush of color spreads across his face.
Excellent. What a drink. What an excellent mood I'm in now.
Witnessing this scene, Jiunyangji's curiosity is piqued. Since she started working at the tavern, she has seen all manner of drinkers, yet she remains unaware of the reasons behind their indulgence.
People say drinking makes you smarter.
No. No, absolutely not.
Is that so?
I can't speak for others, but it doesn't make me smarter, but bolder. Often without drinking, I feel fettered and I can't write a single word. But a bowl of liquor emboldens me, like I'm a general riding a horse, running on the field of creativity. And somehow the poems I write when I'm in this mood are better than the others.
Sounds like liquor can give people energy. The guests are always energetic and loud after drinking.
By the way,
And now a completely different voice.
By the way, I heard you've been studying with Mr. Liu. Why didn't you come to me? I'm much more accomplished than him, intelligent and erudite. Let me read something to you. Goose, goose, goose.
What? What? Why are we mentioning Matilda? Anyway, Jiunyangji hastily excuses herself, saying that she still has many buns to deliver, and scurries away. Thus, Jiunyangji traverses several streets more until she arrives at another household and knocks on the door. Her knock resounds, the door is opened by an elderly man with graying hair, a familiar face often seen at the tavern.
Oh. Finally, the taste of the rice bun liquor lingers in my mouth for days. Using half a bun a day is equal to 4 days drinking.
God, this stuff is potent.
Thank you, Ji and Yang Ji, for delivering them for me. And send my thanks to Miss Shu as well.
As Jun Yang-ji hands over the rice buns, she suddenly recalls the wooden doll's admonition.
Mr. Shen, could you tell me more about the young Ray you mentioned in the tavern that day? Miss Shu told me you met a lot of people and know a lot of things. Maybe that includes a story about young Ray too.
What? Why are you suddenly asking me this? But she's right that I know many things. It is an age-old story. Every young Ray looks different, resides in different locations, and has their own duty.
From what I know, a Xiangwei blesses its people. But how does the blessing work?
Old drinker leans against the door frame. For some time, he strokes his whiskers as he contemplates how to give Jiyun Yangji a satisfactory answer.
The blessing, I'd say, satisfies the wishes of the people. Like Miss Shu and her tavern, she provides a place for drinkers like me to enjoy liquor and makes these rice buns when drinking is banned. She's such a blessing, with much more bark than bite. And the liquor she makes is so smooth, it whisks away my sorrows.
Old Ringer then falls into reminiscence as he begins muttering to himself.
Liquor. I suppose liquor is a good thing. It comforts people. I was once too young to enjoy it, and now I'm too old to enjoy life. Only a bottle of liquor can take me back to enjoying that youth that can only visit in my dreams.
As the sun is setting and Jiyun Yangji still has several rice buns yet to deliver, she bids farewell to Old Drinker and hurries off. As she glances back, she sees him sitting by the door, cradling his rice buns and liquor, and softly humming a tune. On her journey, Jiyun Yangji contemplates the blessing Old Drinker mentioned. Guided by her map, she unknowingly steps onto the threshold of the last house on her list. Oh, the Zichi.
Miss Shu runs the tavern to satisfy people's wishes to drink. Is that a blessing? To become a young Ray, I need to...
Lost in thought, Jun Yangji finds her path obstructed by a formidable figure. The man, out of habit, presses down on the short sword at his waist, adjusts its position, and clears his throat to remind her of his presence. Seeing that Jiyun Yangji is still lost in her reverie, the man clears his throat once more.
Jiyun Yangji, you're late. 2 hours late. Lucky for you, Li Zheng is still working on the ledger of the New Year's purchase.
Fatao, why are you here? What's late? I'm just, wandering on the street. I don't know what you're talking about.
Recalling Miss Shu's words, she quickly takes a step back to distance herself from him.
You have around 7 or 8 buns with you, do you not? You can give them to me now.
After a moment's hesitation, Jiyun Yangji hands over the rest of the buns, her heart pounding in her chest, anticipating the judgment of the law. No, don't worry, in this case, I think the law is also getting drunk. Unsure of what the punishment might be for breaking the liquor ban, Jiyun Yangji waits silently. But he does not blame her. Instead, he fishes out 7 or 8 copper coins from his person and counts them out before presenting them to her.
This is...
It's for the buns. We officers aren't freeloaders.
Hurry. Take this.
They're rice buns made from the materials from making liquor if you just eat them like that.
I know.
Yesterday I sent someone to the tavern and asked that they be sent to the Zichi. I expected you to arrive earlier. A member of the patrol team just got promoted.
We've been waiting for this to celebrate. Ah. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. As he speaks, a figure emerges from the city, exuding an air of authority and kindness. It is Li Zheng. Yunyangji hasn't seen him for quite some time.
My work is done here. Time to head back, Fatao.
Huh?
Isn't this Yunyangji? You've grown up now. I heard you're doing a good job in the tavern. The patrollers always talk about you.
Thank you, Li Zheng.
But what are you two talking about? Is there something I should know?
Nothing. I'm just asking Fatao about the, about Zhangre. I've been studying with Mr. Liu these days and saw the word Zhangre. It's said to be some divine beast that protects people, but nothing more. So I was asking him about the Zhangre in Pei City.
Perhaps it's been recorded in the collections at the county archive.
Can I check them?
Good God, the motorbike in the back now. Pardon.
Citizens are prohibited from entering the archive. Along with the collections, the classified county annuals are preserved there. Put your curiosity away, Yunyangji. It's time for you to go back home now.
With Li Zheng and Fatao fading into the distance, Yunyangji gives her bundle a shake, catches some sesame seeds in her hand, and starts chewing on them. Through the day, Yunyangji encountered many individuals, but Fatao's actions intrigued her more than anything else. It seems this prohibition is indeed as lax as Miss Shu claimed. So why, she wonders, has it not yet been abolished? I mean, it still has its function. It's not like everybody's breaking the law. But it also helps with other stuff in the background. Alright. Oh. Time slipping away. How fast are we approaching the destined moment? No. Regular tavern day? Months pass. The biting north wind heralds the coming of the Dusho festival, together with little permit days, so the tavern has been buzzing with guests for several days. The front hall is warmed by a charcoal fire, creating a cozy and festive atmosphere. In recent days, the town's celebrated storyteller has taken the stage. Whoa. Excuse me, my guy, hold on. The storyteller has taken the stage once again, spending several days narrating tales in the tavern. Oh boy. It is said... The storyteller's voice booms throughout the room. His tales are so captivating that they seize the ears of all present. Within a few sentences, even the most avid drinkers forget to raise their cups to their lips. It is said there is a place haunted by miasma in the south of the land. The miasma there shifts its form into many yaos, and they attack people. Meanwhile, in the central plains, a monster originating from dryness dominates. Wherever it goes, drought follows, and people suffer famine. The rivers and lakes are overrun with huge snakes called goshe. They are more than 20 meters long, with hooks on their tails, hooking people and cows into the water to eat them. To prevent these monsters from hurting people, Yao hunters travel the world, searching haunted places in order to expel them with their special power. They are the sword against evil, protecting people with their lives. That's an interesting tale.
Are they Zhangre?
Not at all. A Yao hunter is not a Zhangre. Yunyangji, one more bowl of great mister.
Hey!
Yunyangji! Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt him. She's completely engrossed in the storyteller's narrative, remaining oblivious to her surroundings until Miss Shu comes over and tugs her sleeve.
九娘子，
quickly, a guest is calling you. Oh, okay, one more bowl coming. Forgive her, it's her first time listening to a professional storyteller. She's been fascinated for the last few days.
Don't worry, I understand. He tells stories much better than we do. It's no wonder she's so absorbed. It's too bad he only comes to the city during the Do Show festival.
Speaking of which, it'll be a lot of work to decorate the tavern. Look at all these lanterns, candles and ribbons. Luckily I have Ji to help me this year. What a busy year she's had. She ran errands, learned how to read, and delivered rice buns all around the city. Though she still has a lot more to learn, she continues to impress me with her work ethic.
At this moment, a guest enters the tavern. Seeing the joyous festival celebrations, he smiles and finds a seat.
One bowl of great mister, please.
What a surprise it is to see you here, Li Zhang. Here, drinks are on me. This is newly made. Have a try.
I don't usually drink, but we are in the countdown to the Do Show festival, so I suppose I'll have a bottle or two. Besides, I have something I want to confirm with you. Remember when we brought Ji here? You refused to take her in until we appointed you as supplier of the ceremonial liquor.
Huh?
Well, the festival is near now, and I finally have some time to come by. I want to ask, how are the preparations going?
Already done. They're in the yard. 8 jars of liquor, all made with the best ingredients. It was their request that I took most seriously all year. If anything goes wrong with them, people will lose their faith in me.
Li Zhang nods in satisfaction, knowing that Miss Shu has taken her role to heart.
Relax, I'm just asking. The Jili is the one checking all the ceremonial supplies. Do Show is the biggest festival of the year. The merchant's hub will be packed with people during this time. I need to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Oh, for a second I thought this was a full inspection. You almost had me panicking. I was thinking, Geely has already checked the liquor. Why is he checking again? Have I done something wrong?
Hearing their lively conversation, all the drinker joins them.
Li Zhang, I heard a festoon race is returning this year. Do you know when exactly? You see, most of us don't know much about divination, ancient articles, or singing. But racing is nice and simple. Whoever runs fastest wins. It'll be around the end of the year. But it's not decided yet. Some items, such as the festoons and flagpoles, are all prepared. I wonder
I
who...
wonder who will win this year.
Thank you. I will not lie. I get so into this that I get so caught off guard every time a random voice line appears.
Festoons, flagpoles, winner. What's the festoon race? It's just a few layabouts running around, really. It's only...
Old drinker chuckles and waves his hand, taking over the conversation.
Let me explain. The festoon race is a race event. 5 flagpoles are set up at 5 locations in the city, each with multiple festoons of the same color. There is no fixed route for the race. After it starts, the runners can collect 5 festoons in any order, as long as they finish with the red one. The first to get the red wins, and the Ji will grant him a wish.
Uh-oh.
a wish. Any wish?
Seeing Jun Yingji's enthusiasm, Li Zhang strokes his beard. A smile grows on his face.
Not if you're wishing for a star in the sky. Most people ask for some grains, clothes, or other daily necessities. Others ask for jade pendants, tea bricks, and the like. Nothing worth more than a few loads of rice.
Can I wish to go to the country archive and read the books there?
Well, probably yes. If you win the race, that is.
Ha! After a brief chat, Li Zheng takes his leave and Miss Shu hurries over to speak with Jiunyangji.
就那样子。
Jiunyang, are you serious about joining the festoon race? Every past winner has been a patroller. They're strong and, of course, know the city like the back of their hands.
Well, so does she.
I know the city well too. I deliver buns all over the city all the time. And I'm a fast runner. Much faster than before. Well, you surely are, but I'm worried you might get hurt during the race. If something goes wrong, I'll take over the... See me in the yard tonight. I have something to tell you.
Oh? Oh, this is where it starts. She's gonna tell her that she wants to go home. As night falls, the courtyard is stripped of its daytime clamor, leaving only the liquor jar standing against the wall. There is no sound but the gurgling of water, a blabbing particularly pronounced in the stillness of the night. Jiunyangji, mimicking Miss Shu, dips the liquor ladle into the vat, scooping out the lees to place in a wooden basin. By the time she reaches the kitchen, an oil lamp has already been lit on the table, with wheat flour piled beside it.
The key is the ratio of ingredients. 4 cups of Jiunyang and 1 cup of wheat flour. No water. Before you mix them together, you need to squeeze the liquor out of it, so the bun will be chewy. Always use newly ground wheat flour. Inspect the flour for any large particles. It should be as fine as rough powder.
Jiunyangji follows each step as Miss Shu instructs her. She mixes the lees with the wheat flour and, using a special technique, patiently nets them together. Initially, the lees do not integrate with the wheat flour, but as she works it with her palms, they start to merge together, giving rise to a faint fragrance, milder than the lees but richer than the flour.
It's fun to make. The dough is soft and white. What's next? Flatten it and put it in the earthen oven? Not quite. There's one last step. Stay calm, alright? There's no need to be afraid.
Oh? Miss Shu brings out a square wooden board and scatters a handful of wheat grain upon it. She then tilts a bowl of water, flicking her fingers to sprinkle water over the grain. She mutters under her breath, and in a matter of moments, the wheat grains begin to sprout open, growing upward as if devouring the air itself. Oh, she's an Arcanist. Jiunyangji watches the scene intently as the wheat sprouts on the table grow to the length of her palm before coming to a halt.
You know magic? It's my arcane skill, nothing special. I can hasten the growth of malt. Actually, there are many others in the city who can do much more.
Miss Shu slices the freshly sprouted malt, chops it finely, and blends it into the well-kneaded dough. Ha! That's an interesting extra ingredient, and yeah, this is something that only she could properly do. That's kind of like the special part of the recipe, huh?
This is the secret to our rice buns. The malt. It takes days for it to grow naturally, but my skill saves a lot of time. Have you had malt before? No, but I know it can be made into candy. It can make liquor too. My father was the one who brought the recipe for ale to the city. He was a merchant traveling the world. After he met my mother, he decided to stay here and opened this tavern. When I was a little girl, my mother always said that, thanks to my arcane skill, we could make liquor faster than any other tavern. And my father told me stories of his travels. Today, what the storyteller said about...
Ah. Miss Shu's voice grows fainter, her mind drifting off, as though she were recalling some past event.
My yearning to travel the world gets stronger day by day. Yet here I am, still at this tavern. There's always something that stops me from getting out of the city, or even out the front gate, for that matter. Miss Shu.
Are you also trapped here?
Miss Shu's gaze falls upon the flickering candlelight. The The shadows of the room seem to have taken the shape of things from long ago. She simply shakes her head. Miss Shu looks at Jinyangji and sees a reflection of her younger self. Suddenly she feels a weariness enveloping her.
就那样子。
Forget it. Go to sleep, Junyangji. Go to sleep.
After returning to her room, Junyangji's thoughts linger on Miss Shu. It seems the people of Pei City all have their individual worries, be it Li Zhang, Miss Shu, or the patrons. A familiar rustling emanates from the corners of the room, starting as a soft whisper and gradually swelling into song as the wooden dolls once again appear atop her bed.
Make buns! Make buns! Rice buns! Crumbled!
A wooden doll climbs up Junyangji's sleeve.
You have personal feelings. You treat her as family. You will never be as young Ray. Hey, stop. Shut up. I don't have any personal feelings, okay? So just stop talking. Can't be as young Ray. Can't go out of the city forever and ever. I won't stay here forever. I won't.
Junyangji turns her back, doing her best to ignore the encroaching chaos, yet her heart remains plunged into turmoil. Yeah, the inner conflict of developing personal feelings for the people, especially for Shu, while also have been told as a child that if she starts having personal feelings that she can never become a Jiangre, that she needs to be like distant from everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, festoons. How will the race go? I mean, she will win the race, right? She did have in the story, I think she did have in the story access to the archives, if I remember correctly.
Let me see. Everything's sorted. Not many customers today, so I can handle things on my own. Why don't you wear something lighter? It's okay. I'm used to this. It's my delivery outfit. I'm a fast runner. My clothes won't slow me down. Last night, I had your shoes resold.
This one is weird to pronounce. Resold? As in new soles to the shoes, but it sounds like reselling. Anyway.
Oh, and I put new insoles inside. Hopefully they'll be more comfortable than before.
Damn, splurging. Junyangji looks down and presses into the floor with the tip of her foot. She then paces back and forth a few times.
Oh, that's why they feel so much softer today. They're much easier to walk on than before. Thank you, Miss Shu. They won't shave when I'm running now.
As the conversation unfolds, someone approaches from outside the tavern.
Huh?
Hey, Miss Shu, Jinyangji, are you going out? Today isn't a liquor ban day. I'd like a bowl of Earth Spring to get some inspiration for my poem.
Sorry, not many people have come today due to the festoon race. And Jinyangji has signed up for the race, so I just decided to close up and go and cheer her on.
Well, it is indeed the most lively day of the year. Everyone's gathered on the street. But if you close your door, where can we drinkers go to kill time?
Sorry, but it's not every day that I'll get to see Jinyangji participate in a race.
Whatever.
Alright, then I suppose I'll take a look too.
She locks the door and they head out onto the street together. Shu is a proud mom. On most days, only a handful of people can be found by the city gates, but today the area is alive with townspeople. This is the starting line of the festoon race. All manner of people are waiting at the line, from fruit vendors to old night watchmen. They are stretching and rubbing their hands together in anticipation, eager from the event to begin.
There seems to be many more contestants than in previous years. Presumably, a number of them are newcomers to the city.
Recent years have been kind, and life has been good. The citizens have had a plentiful harvest and very little disease. Of course, more of them are willing to join the race.
Food comes first for the people. Only a full stomach and warmth can make one wealthy.
Even this tradition started as a ceremony to pray for a good harvest for next year.
Huh?
Since you're standing by my side, I assume you won't be joining the race this year.
I haven't done so for years, but I recommended a few members of the patrol team join.
Oh, right.
Oh, and I heard Ji from the tavern sign up.
Is that so? I thought she was joking. She truly is a brave girl.
Excuse me, make way. Sorry, excuse me, we have a contestant here. Passing by these robust men only serves to highlight her delicate stature. With her agile frame, Ji weaves through the crowd.
So many people. Please excuse me. Let me through.
Ji becomes as nimble as a loach, threading her way forward, striving to swim to the fore.
Finally here. So many people have joined the race. Not sure I can win. But if I want to become a Xiangrei, I have to try.
As the starting time draws closer, everyone holds their breath in anticipation, waiting for the signal to start. Amidst the throng of burly men in coarse brown clothes, a streak of green catches the eye.
Joe! Run faster! Run!
Hurry up, people! Let's get this race started!
With the blast of the starting signal, the participants bolt like runaway steeds. They go different ways, some choose main roads, some choose alleys, and some through courtyards. Different speeds, different... Okay, yeah. Hey, an actual CG for this.
I know every street in the city, and I run fast. I just need to find the best route.
You can do it.
Faster.
Faster, run faster. There's nothing faster than a Loshu.
Uh-oh, don't say that out loud.
The people festoons is at the butcher's on West Street. The yellow one is near the tea room in South Alley. So the Baodai Bridge is the fastest way through.
Should one gaze down upon Pei City from above, one would spy several black spots rushing forward, each a former victor of the race. Blessed with swift feet and an intimate knowledge of the city's layout, these participants are leading the pack. In the time that it takes for an incense stick to burn, several participants are already clutching silk in their hands. They each hold a different color, grabbing from flagpoles in varying parts of the city, as each participant has taken their own route. Sorry, the thought literally came through my mind that I know it's just a herb that is basically a Lushu, aka a horse, but isn't this just Uma Musume right now? Oh shit, she already has a couple.
Now I have the green one too. For the blue one, is North Street closer? No, I should go to Mr. Shen's house. Come on, Jiu, hurry. If you win this, you're one step closer to becoming a Xiangrei.
Damn. Also, she's running in those clothes, Jesus Christ. That shit is so tight on her. Half an hour has passed, and by now everyone has moved to the main street intersection. Here a flagpole has been erected, atop which flutters a single red festoon, the victor's coveted prize. Oh yeah, that is actually very smart. So the last one you need to pick up is the red one. So all the other colors are multiple because everybody needs to grab one. But because the red one is the only one that only needs to be grabbed once, whoever gets it first wins. Yeah, that's actually clever to have only one of it.
The red festoon should be hung on the main street. It looks more festive here. I wonder who will win this year. Perhaps one of the Fa patrol team?
You're very kind to say so. The patrollers know the city well, and all of them are well trained. They can certainly run fast. But who knows, the city is loaded with talented people. As they speak, a chorus of voices rises in the distance. Cheers and shouts swell like a tide rolling down the street. A search sign that the victor has emerged. Search? Sure. But it appears to be a petite figure in green that is drawing the crowd's attention. Before they can discern the details, the figure, swift as a gust of wind, is already upon them. Looks like the winners arrived, and they've left the others in the dust. But I don't remember any of the patrollers wearing green today.
Wait.
That's not a patroller. The figure lifts a foot, stepping firmly onto the stone guardian by the road, and leaps into the air, deftly plucking the red silk festoon from the flagpole. In an instant, cheers fill the air. This year's champion has been decided. The crowd swarms forward. Amidst them stands Jun Yangji, the silk festoon clutched in her hand.
九娘子,
You did it. 1, 2, 3. 5 festoons in total. You got them all.
Eventually the crowd splits to form a path. Li Zheng strides forth, his satisfaction with this unexpected outcome evident. Following in his wake are 5 large sacks brimming with grain, the rightful reward for the triumphant winner.
As you all know, the 5 colored festoons represent the 5 kinds of grains. May the collection of the 5 festoons bring us a bountiful harvest for every year to come.
Li Zheng turns around, spreading his arms wide as he proclaims loudly to the assembled crowd.
Citizens, the winner this year is Jun Yangji from the tavern.
Li Zheng bows slightly, and following the tradition of years past, inquires about the victor's wish.
Tell me your wish, and I shall grant it. Anything within my power.
Li Zheng's mind still echoes with Jun Yangji's inquiry that day, her heart set on visiting the county archives to delve into matters related to the Jiangre. If this is her wish, a mere word to the keeper of the county archive would suffice. Li Zheng contemplates this privately, internally commending Jun Yangji's thirst for knowledge. Uh-oh.
Then
My wish is...
I wish for the liquor ban to be lifted.
Oh! The once bustling street now lies under a spell of silence. Not even Fatsao utters a word. The liquor ban is something no one would dare bring up to the officials. Wow! The circle of onlookers first fixes their gaze upon Jun Yangji, then turns their attention to Li Zheng.
Oh dear, forgive her, Li Zheng. She must have run so fast that she lost her mind. Jun Yangji, what are you talking about? Just ask for a few loads of rice.
Unlike his usual prompt replies, Li Zheng takes some time to contemplate. Then, with a wave of his hand, he instructs Fatsao to hasten back to the government office. Before long, Fatsao returns from the outer street, clutching a document in hand. It bears a red seal. Li Zheng slowly unfurls the document, reciting each word and each sentence with great deliberation.
The regulations on liquor sale and consumption were issued due to the many natural disasters and food shortages of previous years, which have persisted until recent times. However, due to the positive turn in the weather and the abundance of crops of late and upon hearing Jun Yangji's wish, which I'm sure represents the voice of many,
all heads crane forward, listening intently.
So,
henceforth, the liquor ban shall be lifted. Starting with the merchant hub, selling and drinking liquor will not be restricted. Other districts will follow suit in due time.
Also, this kind of answers a question that I had, like, why was there even a liquor ban to begin with? But yeah, if there were shortages in grain that could be used to make food instead of drink, that makes absolute sense. But yeah, if the surrounding farmland and everything has recovered, then yeah, makes no sense to keep it anymore. With the speech concluded, the members of the crowd look to one another in stunned silence. After a long pause, whispers begin to ripple. The murmurs grow louder, gradually coalescing into cheers. The news travels from here to the end of the street, and then throughout the entire city. Really? We can drink anytime we want? Jiunangji! Jiunangji! The crowd celebrates uproariously, as if this were the main event of the festival. The movement of the crowd squeezes Fa Cao and Li Zhang onto the steps at the street's edge. Both wear smiles, observing the jubilant citizens before them. Sorry to ask, but I don't understand what happened just now. Had you discussed this with her earlier?
It's not like that.
It's simply a coincidence. The abolishment of the liquor regulations was already on the agenda.
I knew it. I had a feeling. That was a very hasty decision.
We had planned to put up signs after the Dusha festival. Jiunangji's impulsive wish just so happened to align with our goals.
As the ancient saying goes,
there is no time like the present. Why not seize the moment and announce the news a little earlier than planned?
Also, this works in two ways now. Jiu is painted like a celebrity essentially to the people of the city, and it helps bolster her reputation, while Li Zhang and the government of the city essentially also get promoted up as very good people to abide by such a wish. It's a win-win.
I see. Still, it takes gumption to do so.
From this day forward, the citizens of Pei City can drink at any time. The taverns all over the city start to see better days. Yep. Yep. That will be definitely very helpful for all the taverns in the city. Alright. Moving on to number 7. Difficult is the way. Alright then. Well, we're approaching the end of this thing. It's either gonna happen in this node now, or it's gonna happen in the very last one, where she transforms her into a horsey. On this day, the tavern is abuzz with extraordinary liveliness. Although the Dusha festival has always been a day of celebration, the lifting of the liquor ban has made this year's festivities particularly jubilant. The patrons have been gathered here for days on end, drinking and chatting merrily. The stock of pre-prepared liquor isn't enough to satiate them, and they have to tap into the reserves set aside long ago. Take it easy, people. There are only so many orders I can handle. I thought I prepared enough liquor, but the festival isn't even close to over. And I'm almost completely out.
I was starting to think that the liquor ban would never be lifted. Even today I had to pinch myself to confirm it wasn't a dream. And it's all thanks to Jiunangji. Who knew that such a careless girl would speak out for the people? She's braver than I am, that's for sure.
It was nothing. All I did was ask a question.
Yeah, she's basically filling into the role of a Zhangre, right? Giving people a blessing. With this kind of position now.
Miss Shu is always working hard to prepare and deliver liquor to everyone in the city. So I thought, what if there were no liquor ban? Then she wouldn't have to be so tired.
She's starting to sound like Miss Shu herself, loving and caring, especially to us drinkers. Learn from the best. Miss Shu has been a great role model for you. Come to think of it, Li Zhang made a wise decision in sending Jiunangji to you. He knows your personality well.
That's very sweet. Both Jiunangji and I are flattered.
It came from the heart. People my age never indulge in flattery. Speaking of the liquor ban, it has actually come and gone a few times in my life. Over the years, the government has issued a ban during bad harvest years to stop people from making liquor from the grain. I suppose there will be no need for you to sell your famous rice buns anymore, although I must admit I'll miss the liquor made from them. It's the perfect thickness and has that wonderful scent of roasted rice.
Don't worry, I taught Ji how to make the buns. We'll still make some now and then if there's a demand for it. Never more of a necessity under the liquor ban. I didn't expect people to like them so much. But the tavern will continue to get busier, so I'm afraid we might not have time to make them anymore.
The crowd is all cheering and drinking. Miss Shu pulls Ji to one side and hands her something.
This is...
The picture books of monsters and yaos. Where did you get them? Li Zheng sent these to you. He knows you're interested in genre and the like. Oh, and tomorrow is the first day of the new year. Let's go to the broken bridge together. Some say that a giant bird has been witnessed near the bridge. It could be the genre you're always talking about, and we can pray for good luck, as others do.
And there steps Gatian in. Broken Bridge. No matter the weather, every year during the Dusha festival, it always rains at the broken bridge outside the city. That is interesting. The scenery on the opposite bank is shrouded in fine rain. This atmosphere, as if intentionally breeding sentiments of grief, is sure to evoke memories of the departed. Miss Shu stands with an umbrella, surrounded by pedestrians seeking good fortune on the first day of the year. They hurry by, not pausing for a moment.
I don't see a giant bird anywhere. Is there really a genre?
Ji tilts back her umbrella as she surveys the branches above, trying to imagine what the feathers and talons of a giant bird might look like.
It's really pouring down now. Maybe it decided to stay in the nest. Birds don't like rainy days. What a waste of time. A waste. If you have a question to ask and you find an answer, then I wouldn't say that your time's been wasted.
Miss Shu leads Ji to the edge of the broken bridge. The remaining railings and planks had become especially bright in the rain, as if they had been broken by the flood all yesterday. The silent passersby stop here, each holding a wooden slip in their hand. Following suit, Miss Shu takes out her own wooden slip and carefully inscribes the questions that have troubled her for many years.
In the past, if you carved your questions on a wooden slip, the gods of Sheti would answer. Back then, I didn't take it that seriously, so I never asked. But when I did finally have a question, the bridge was broken, and it remained unanswered.
Ji glances sideways and sees the words on Miss Shu's wooden slip.
When my own journey... If no one answers, why do people keep asking? Maybe it's because they already found their own answers. They just want divination to confirm it, so they can finally make up their minds. If you want to do something, just do it. You don't have to think that hard about it. Just like the person who left me at the gate of Pei City didn't.
Miss Shu gazes at a broken bridge, falling into a prolonged silence. The rain pitter-patters on her umbrella, on the wooden railings on the bridge, and within her heart. She ponders for a long time, unsure of how to begin.
九娘子, I'm leaving here. Leave my tavern. Leave Pei City. Follow Aye and travel around the world.
It'll be a long journey. I don't know when I'll be back, so...
At first, Ji cannot make sense of these words. It is as if she has been transported back to that day when she tried to read the labels on the liquor jars. Hidden beneath her oil paper umbrella, only the lower half of Miss Shu's face is visible. Her usual enthusiasm has been replaced by an almost indescribable serene melancholy.
I thought you wouldn't leave. Not like the Taoist and my mom.
I'm sorry.
Jinyangji, it has always been my wish to see the greater world, to see what lies beyond Pei City. In fact, every time the storyteller speaks, I cling to every word. Every night I dream of the glorious scenery and legendary characters, and I see myself there standing among them. When I was a younger girl like you, I told my father that I would become a merchant and travel the world. I've been stuck in Pei City for too long. So long that I almost forgot my childhood dream. The liquor ban was what kept me here. People needed me, they put their trust in me, so I thought it was my responsibility to run the tavern. But now the ban has come to an end, and people can drink whenever they want. So I told myself, this is your chance, Shu. It's time to do what you want. To widen your world.
Jinyangji's carelessly drops her umbrella and steps onto the broken bridge, the rain cascading down her hair. Under the bridge, the turbulent waters rush by, their destination unknown.
Fine, but I thought you wouldn't. Since I've been here, I've been trying to find my mother, to recall what a Zhang Rei is by piecing together scattered words from books and legends.
I
thought I figured it out, that you were the Zhang Rei I'd been looking for, so I learned from you. I tried to become a good tavern owner. Even then, I was told I was on the wrong path. But I thought, why not keep it this way? Nothing bad has happened. Why not live my happily ever after with Miss Shu?
But
I was wrong. After all my efforts, you're still leaving me, just like everyone else.
I'm sorry.
No, don't say sorry. Everyone has their own path. This is all because I followed the wrong one.
Oh. Oof. The rain grows heavier. Jinyangji trudges over the broken edge of the bridge and puts her hand on the moist handrail. She gazes over to the other side. It seems so close, as if she could simply take a step to the other side, yet so distant, like the space she feels between herself and others. She has never truly been close to anyone.
The book Li Zheng gave me said that any wish of a person who jumps to the other side of this broken bridge will come true.
if it were me, would I be able to jump over it?
One day, sweetheart, one day. Miss Shu swiftly steps forward and grasps Jinyangji by the arm, afraid of what might come next.
No one has ever done that. Don't be silly.
That's just a story. It's Jinyangji.
I know, it's just a story. But I took it seriously.
就那样子. Go back.
Oh boy. Yeah, there's definitely a thing of her entire life she was... It's like not being trustworthy of people. Well, not really, I'm just giving that as an example. Not being trustworthy of people, then finally trusting people, and then just having your trust betrayed once again. Ugh. Just when you gave in to that feeling. Okay. The full moon hangs in the sky, illuminating the courtyard. All is still. Jinyangji sits in front of a small table, a jar of fine liquor placed atop it, drinking alone. Lifting her gaze, she sees that Miss Shu's room is pitch black. The mistress of the room has already gone to bed.
Back then, I used to wonder why people liked drinking liquor. It burns the throat and irritates the nose. It's not as clear as water and not as warming as tea.
Jinyangji shakes her head, then lifts her liquor bowl to examine it closely. The bright reflection of the moon in her bowl resembles a jade plate or a delicate silver coin, shimmering and breaking with the movement of the liquor. The little wooden dolls, timely as ever, clamber onto the table. They joke and giggle, adding a lively spirit to the previously peaceful courtyard.
Alone, alone, all alone! They said liquor could take all your worries away. I didn't understand then, but now I do. Alright, alright. Have a drink if you want. Want some? Want some?
Ji's eyes twinkle with joy as she brings forth a large bowl brimmed with fine liquor. The wooden dolls commence a dance on the table, then one by one they leap into the liquor bowl, bobbing up and down within it. Ji lifts her bowl and takes a sip. Then, mimicking the patrons of the tavern, she starts humming an often-sung tune.
By the flowers of the snow, in the snow, raise a toast and don't say no. By the flowers in the snow, raise a toast and don't say no. You're having personal feelings now.
These little shits.
I'm not. I never have. I guess the Taoist was wrong. I need to become a young Ray, or I'll never leave Pei City. Yes, that's what I should do. To be a young Ray is to help people fulfill their wishes.
Oh boy, here it goes. Oh boy, here it starts. The famed tavern keeper of Pei City, Miss Shu, solemnly declares her intent to close the tavern and set off on a journey around the world. Her patrons are unanimously overcome with a wave of lamentation. Through several days of farewell toasts, each patron of the tavern says their heartfelt goodbyes to Miss Shu. On the final day, the patrons of the city all come to bid her farewell, except for Ji, the serving girl, who is rumored to have already found employment elsewhere. Shortly thereafter, the tavern changes hands. Okay, are they gonna show the moment? That is the question now. One more left. Let's see. Number 8. Till the last drop. Last one? Yep. Okay. Let's see. Are they or are they not gonna show the moment it happens? That is the question. Time flies, and more than a year has passed. Pei City seems to have not changed at all, yet everything feels different. The bustling merchant hub is still teeming with people, an endless stream of townsfolk traveling back and forth. Miss Shen, it's been a while. You seem to be in good spirits.
Huh?
Would you care to have a drink? Miss Shen, Mr. Shen, sorry. The tavern on East Street has come some new arrivals. It's festival time now. Why don't we get together with some old friends? Theirs isn't as good as Miss Shu's liquor, but it's good enough and has its own flavor, I suppose. It's so far from here. I miss Miss Shu's tavern. It was closer and the liquor tasted better. Now it's been taken over by someone and the liquor tastes awful. Old drinker shakes his head and sighs. We average folk may not drink the finest of liquor, but we are certainly able to discern a good liquor. After one sip, we can tell when the liquor is brewing carefully and when it isn't.
Oh.
It's such a pity that Miss Shu has left the city, and there's been no news of her return since. I fear I'll never get to taste the liquor as fine as hers again. Personally, I miss the liquor made of rice buns more. Since the lifting of the liquor ban, there are more taverns than ever in the city, but not one of them knows how to make those buns. Maybe the technique is lost forever, along with Miss Shu. I remember Miss Shu mentioning that she taught it to Ji.
By the way,
it seems no one has seen Ji for quite some time either. It's all thanks to her that the liquor ban was lifted in the first place. It was she who allowed Miss Shu to leave to fulfill her dream of being a merchant with no concerns. Since that time, Ji's whereabouts have continued to be a mystery. Is she even still in Pei City? Let it go, old friend. Absence makes the heart grow fonder and all that. There will always be a bowl of liquor waiting for us drinkers to get together over. Let's cherish this moment, huh? Come on, let's drink.
go!
We better not keep it waiting. Let's go.
As they walk and talk, they turn a corner, gradually making their way down the long street toward the east and disappearing into the distance. A figure emerges from around the corner. She had been listening to the entire conversation. The eavesdropper is none other than Yunyangji. She has grown a touch taller than before and has shed some of her youthful naivety for a few strands of grace. Yet her every move remains as endearing as ever. That prompts her to get back to the tavern. Yunyangji follows the familiar path to the tavern and spots a man, the current tavern owner, standing behind the counter. There is not a single patron in this deserted front hall. It is clear that those scents of merriment are but a distant memory now. A thin layer of dust covers the tables and footrests, and cobwebs adorn the overhead beams. There is no trace of this tavern's former glory. Another day and still no customers. Should I just sell this place?
Excuse me, sir. One bowl of great mister, please. The newly made one, scooped from the middle of the jar.
Of course. Come, take a seat. Welcoming the tavern's first bit of business in over half a day, the tavern owner quickly taps a jar, pours a bowl of liquor, and brings it forth. A cloudy bowl of liquor with rice dregs floating within it is presented before her. Its color is dull, and the aroma is surprisingly faint.
Are you sure this is great mister? It doesn't smell like before.
The previous owner left. I brewed this using my secret formula. It tastes even better and has a lasting aftertaste. I can't pour the liquor back into the jar, so just have a taste first. You'll see. Yunyangji hesitates for a moment and lifts the bowl and drinks it all in one gulp. She immediately spits the liquor back out. The taste is so awful that it is not even worth drinking.
It's awful. You haven't fermented it nearly long enough, and the rice you used is stale. Worst of all, you didn't seal the jar after you first opened it, and the water in the air has affected the liquor.
Ah, you must be a professional taster. You're right, but this is our cheapest liquor. Our best liquor tastes totally different. Try it. I guarantee you'll love it.
No need. I'm leaving. Miss Shu brewed every jar with her heart, no matter how cheap it was.
Her gaze grows increasingly forlorn. Finding no reason to linger any longer, Yunyangji pays for the liquor and gets up to leave. As she makes her way to the door, she hears the tavern owner behind the counter let out a sigh of lamentation, followed by a murmured monologue. Everyone says I'm not as good as the owner Everyone says I'm not as good an owner as the previous one, and business is just getting worse. I've been losing money for weeks. If something doesn't improve soon, I'll have to let someone else take over the tavern. Or maybe I should just leave this place as soon as possible. Yunyangji stops in her tracks and, as if spellbound, promptly turns around. The girl's eyes are filled with distress and confusion as she mumbles.
Leave? Like what Miss Shu did? Of course everyone will eventually leave to fulfill another wish. And I will help them if that wish is something I can help with.
Oh boy. Ignoring the man's astonishment, Yunyangji heads straight behind the counter and, after rummaging around for a moment, pulls out an unopened jar of liquor from a hidden compartment beneath it.
Amazing! You're still here! This is the fine liquor that Miss Shu hid here before she left. Come, let's have a taste of it. Oh, I forgot. You're the owner of this jar now.
I am, but I had no idea that it was there. You must have worked here before, yes? Go ahead. Without you, I would have no clue that there was a jar of liquor there in the first place. With an ease that comes from extensive practice, Yunyangji breaks the clay seal, and a unique fragrance fills the room. For a moment, she can almost hear the clinking of cups and the cheerful din of patrons. Uh-oh. As if the tavern were alive once more. A sharp splash sound brings Yunyangji back to reality, She looks down at the mouth of the liquor jar to see a few tiny wooden dolls swimming merrily in the brew.
Fine liquor, tastes great. Hey, how did you...
These mischievous wooden figures have chosen this precise moment to appear. Fortunately, the tavern owner is so enraptured by the fragrance of the liquor that he remains oblivious to the oddity before him. This scent. This is indeed one of Miss Shu's creations. There's no way I could make liquor as fine as hers.
I don't think I could either. Miss Shu always selected the best rice in the grain store herself. And she strictly followed the fermentation process, even if the liquor ran out and the patrons begged her for more. She wouldn't open a new jar even a day early.
As Ji speaks, she blocks the man's view of the jar with her body and deftly lifts the wooden dolls out one by one, concealing them within her sleeves. 1, 2... She counts in her head, in silent astonishment. The last wooden doll, as if it has dissolved into the liquor itself, is nowhere to be found. Well, it seems we were destined to meet this day, so that I can learn what good liquor is, and so you can relive past memories. Come, let's drink it together. With this said, the tavern owner sets out 2 large bowls, and after a gentle trickling of liquor, they are both filled to the brim and emitting a pleasant fragrance.
Wait, this is the fine liquor made by Miss Shu. I should use my own bowl to drink it.
Continuing her journey into the past, Ji heads into the back. Her former room remains unchanged, save for a few scattered items. After searching for a while, she retrieves the bowl Miss Shu gifted her on that memorable day. She returns to the front hall, only to find the tavern suddenly devoid of any human presence. Uh-oh.
That's weird. Where did he go? The jar is still on the counter, but one bowl has been emptied.
There is a rustling sound from behind the counter, and a striped horse timidly finds its way out into the open. Visibly anxious, the striped horse paces around the room, its hooves clopping rhythmically. Ji steps forward, caresses the horse's neck, and gently strokes its mane.
Where did you come from? Have I seen you somewhere before, striped horse? Did the owner just leave? He did say that he wanted someone else to take over. If he has left, then I will be that someone. And in doing so, I'll help him fulfill his wish. That's exactly what a young Ray should do for people.
And it begins. A figure pokes his head in the doorway. Hello, miss. Is the tavern still open?
Oh, the tavern's not... I just took it over. Just took over it. Brewing takes another 2 weeks. You can come by then.
Oh boy, it begins. Within a few days, the whole neighborhood has heard that the tavern owner has sold the tavern and returned to his hometown, and that the previous serving girl, Ji, has become the new owner. The liquor she brews is indistinguishable from that of Miss Shu's original creations, and in no time, the scattered patrons once again have a place to gather. The tavern is bustling all day long, almost identical to how it was before. This is the authentic great mister. It's the best in the city. Ji, 2 bottles more.
Coming. Don't rush me. My hands are full.
It feels like the old days when Miss Shu worked here alone. After you came, things finally got easier for her. And now you're the one running the tavern all by yourself. I wonder if there will be another little lady to come and help you, just as you helped Miss Shu. Don't forget to make rust buns when you're not so busy.
By the way,
where did that striped horse of yours go? The one that used to stay in the courtyard.
Oh, the horse? I have no idea. It escaped days ago. If you see it, let me know. But let's not worry about that for now. It's time for a drink.
Jun Yang-jin, now the new owner of the tavern, weaves through the crowd, her eyes gleaming with joy. She skillfully attends to the guests' each cup of liquor, making the crowd momentarily forget their worries. So yeah, I guess basically she really was not aware that she was transforming people into horses. Because the dolls were doing it, kinda behind her back. For the most part. Indeed, she follows the Taoist words to become a Jiangrei, to do what she should do. In Pei City, there are many worries waiting to be dispelled and, naturally, many wishes to be fulfilled. On the night of the year's beginning, the main street of Pei City is at its liveliest. Crowds throng the thoroughfare, the cries of vendors ring out, silks drape high over the streets, and piles of red pomegranates and walnuts rise in little towers on the market stalls. The end. Yeah, and that's where it's gonna pick up in the main story then. Okay, yeah, that definitely puts stuff into perspective, doesn't it? Okay, so yeah, she was not really aware of the whole kid and caboodle that she was doing there. Huh. Good God. But yeah, also what a life. Alright, before I say a couple more words, let's see what's in the survey. Alright, this is cleared. No interesting, like, special things outside of fights, which were fine. Interesting, and as well, nice way of seeing how Jiu's whole kit works. But yeah, anyway, this was a nice little story. Basically painting her, essentially painting her life all the way up until, pretty much almost all the way up until Yenisei and Bessmert would actually reach Pei City. And the rest of the story, we know how it goes. But yeah, that was a pretty nice little showcase of why she is the way she is, I would say. And yeah, definitely paints her in a certain light. Excuse the pun, considering it's called Light to the Tavern. But yeah, pretty well explains her whole descent into how she become locked into this whole aspect of, yeah, helping people makes her a genre. But yeah, the way she was helping people was not the best, probably. Or rather, the way the story presented it, she was thinking that she was helping people with the liquor and the tavern. That is the way she was thinking of. That is the way to help them, just alleviate their everyday worries. But in reality, because of the tiny little dolls bathing in the liquor and everything, the people were turning into horses. And they were disappearing. And because in her mind, it's linked to, like, if a person leaves this city, if a person leaves, they're fulfilling their dream. She didn't really bat an eye about it. She didn't really bat an eye about it because in her mind, she listened to them and the liquor helped them find a way forward in life. And they then disappeared because they probably left. Which in reality wasn't the case because they stayed. They were the horsies, and yeah. Yeah, this definitely puts the whole thing into a better perspective. This definitely puts the whole story into a better perspective, plus it also helps alleviate the one part of the story where it's kind of like, oh, she didn't know that she was doing this? Yeah, she wasn't like fully aware that she was doing it. Because the dolls were the ones doing it, not her herself, essentially. But yeah, definitely. What a life! What a life! Good God. Hopefully that's good. That's getting better from now on. Which also brings me very quickly to the fact I will probably by the next part have her trust all the way up until 80%. Yenisei is very close. She's like 75 or 76 right now. So by the next part, if I have both Jiu here and Yenisei up on 80%, I'm probably gonna, in that episode, even though it's gonna be about Getian, I don't have sadly Getian, but even though it's gonna be an episode about Getian and his story, I'm probably gonna do a quick read-through maybe at the beginning of the episode, through the like story file of Jiu and Yenisei, just to see what's written in those, and see what those stories, especially what the Pandora Wilson interview is about. But yeah, that'll be for next part. Hopefully I'm gonna have her at 80%. She's, like I said, very close. She's like 68% or 70% right now, I believe. Yeah, not far off. Not far off. That's why I have her in the in the lobby right now, just to accelerate that whole thing. But yeah, anyway, this was a cool little story. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Getien's story is gonna be in the next part. And then after that, we're probably gonna do one quick anecdote. And by that time, I think we're gonna have one more space before the rerun story is gonna be live as part of the event menu. And in that little window, I'm probably gonna do the roguelite mode again and see about the new ending. But yeah, anyhow, that will be it for this part. Next time it's gonna be Getien, like I said, and we'll see how that story is gonna be and what it's gonna be actually telling us. But until then, hope you enjoyed this part. If you did so, please consider leaving a like, it would help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. More stuff to come, of course, and if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open. And like I always say, no video will be behind a membership, it's purely there for support for me and the channel, so thank you very much. And thank you, of course, to the members already doing so. The help is much appreciated. And yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next part. Until then, bye-bye.